Hey guys, Richard at Ryden's Room here, doing my latest YouTube review. This is like the most I've done in any day, counting my 1 minute Doctor Who videos. So yeah, this is for the Harry Potter first book. So this is my reread of it. First read these back in the 2000s. I'd read the book, then watch the film. God, I've seen like 2008 or no, 2009, I think it was. Yeah, good story behind that. I think I mentioned in my film review. But yeah, then I read them again 2016 to 17 and doing it now. Planned to do this 2 years ago, but kept getting put off in favour of other books. But I figured when I was going to reread the Alex Cross books, I'd do those straight after. And then I've also got Narnia books for a reread, which also read around the same time, probably the next series actually. So yeah, much like a Harry Potter film review, I should probably mention the similarities between the films. So spoilers for, again, no later, but just Harry Potter 1 film and book. So I bought this last year. You can sort of see in the corner there's like this silver thing. That's like a 25th anniversary. They've reprinted book 1 in the original cover art as well. Even the back as well, although read the book. Is a good story about the art on the back, which is just Dumbledore in this. And I'm hoping they'll do the same for book 2, because book 2 is 25 years old this weekend, Sunday 2nd of July. But there's no word on whether this is getting the same. This treatment of the hardback is happening. I hope so, because, well, I'm actually going to start that book in a few weeks. It'd be very nice to have the hardback book, but there's no word on it. Maybe they were just doing book 1 only because it set Harry Potter off, but I thought they'd do it for all of them. You know, because book 2 Basilisk cover is kind of cool, but the flying car just stands out a lot more. And of course, 2014 they all got redone in the new styles. But what can you do? So anyway, on to book 1. No more complaining. So really enjoyed reading this again. So I'm sure everyone knows it. Basic plot: Harry Potter's this like ordinary kid in like living with his abusive family in London. His aunt, uncle, and cousin, his parents, as they're dead, and then finds out that he's actually got magical powers and has been invited to go to a wizarding school, which gets away from his like terrible terrible family into even more like much worse danger. So yeah, that's basically it. The story is Harry Potter finds out he's a wizard, goes to this school. It's like a living school, but he's much happier there than he ever was with his aunt, uncle, and cousin. And like learns magic, goes to classes, learns sports. Well, a sport called Quidditch, which is like a combination of yeah. So it's basically flying, probably lacrosse. Yeah, lacrosse without the sticks on broomsticks. That's probably or like, I don't know, netball, basketball, but without touching the ground and small balls. Basically, like, various balls fly around the area trying to kill you or just injure you. Let's be honest, like, how's no one killed by these things? And you've got like throw balls into the net and, well, the big ring, and to win the match, well, to end the match, catch a very small golden ball, which is like nearly impossible to find. So he learns that sport and ends up like being nearly killed by the end. So yeah, you got your 3 main characters: Harry, Ron, and Hermione. All the school sorts all the students by houses. Gryffindor for the brave, Hufflepuff for the hardworking, Ravenclaw for the intelligent, and Slytherin for the suspicious. Cunning, they call it, but it's the evil house. Let's be honest, and all the bad kids end up in there. There are basically no good Slytherin students who have become adults or whatever. So yeah, no one wants to be in Slytherin, least of all Harry, who basically, when selected, asks not to be put in that one. So yeah, basically he learns magical powers, like how to like lift feathers into the air, how to like change a box matchsticks into pencils, all the boring stuff like that. But they're 11 years old. It all gets much cooler as they get older and like become more naturally skilled. And yeah, and stop the villains. Basically, the backstory is Harry, when he was a baby, like the main villain, Voldemort, who must not be named, so everyone's scared of his name, except for like Dumbledore, the headmaster, and Harry, who has no idea why people should be scared of the name in the first place, which makes sense. Because he had no idea about the Wizarding World. When Harry was a baby, Voldemort showed up at his parents' house, murdered his parents, tried to kill Harry, but when he did, it didn't. The spell he used to kill him just rebounded and made Voldemort's body vanish. And Voldemort may still be out there somewhere. So yeah, you've got Harry has no idea about any of this because when his parents died, Dumbledore took him to live with his aunt and uncle. Figured it'd be much better off kept away from the world, but they hated magic and hated their family being associated with it, and basically abused Harry and thought that if they keep him away from that stuff, his magical powers will just vanish, which is obviously insane. Of course, they're not going to disappear. If anything, they'll get worse. Harry ends up in Hogwarts and fights the cool things like fighting trolls, flying broomsticks, and facing off against Voldemort, his like head has attached itself to one of his followers, like the back of his head, back of the head of one of his followers, and it tries to kill Harry by the end, but Harry manages to survive because a big part of this is about the power of love. Harry's love, mother's love, because she basically let Voldemort kill her rather than risk Harry dying. Um, Gives him like a level of magical protection. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Really good story, and there's no doubt this, especially this one, is the film is basically word for word. Like very little has been cut out from from book one to film one. If there is, I can't remember. Book two cuts out some, but nowhere near that much. And book three is the point where more starts getting cut. So I look forward to reading these again, and I've always liked this book, and it's just very nice to have it in its original cover. I won't give it a number out of 10 because I don't know. It could be a 9, it could be an 8, but either way, it's definitely one of the very good ones. But yeah, it's very nice to have it in hardback. Obviously, when I was reading it, I took the sleeve off because I didn't want to risk damaging it. But yeah, there's still time, but it's probably doubtful that book 2 is going to get this treatment, but who knows. But yeah, so that's it then. So I will see you next time.